I'm Kevin Gillespie, a chef with a passion for fresh, delicious food and the stories of the people it brings together. At food co-ops across the country, come discover what makes them stronger together. The Twin Cities area is home to one of the most vibrant food cooperative communities in America. A dozen member-owned grocery stores continue to grow here, and one of the originals is the Seward Co+op, just south of downtown Minneapolis.
This new store opened in 2009. We wanted it to look like you're coming up on a big garden.
So right when you walk in the store, you see this amazing produce department. I mean, this has to be something you guys are incredibly proud of.
Well, as you noted, you're hit with this blast of color and life and the aroma, and you know you're in a place that really cares about its food.
Right. You know, you look at something like this, those greens are still really fresh. You know, you can't pretend like this is fresh if the greens are wilted. You know, the fact that you leave it intact to really show what it looks like. Why don't you give me a sort of a walkthrough of what all is inside the store? What makes the Seward Co+op tick?
Really, it's the members and the staff that really make it tick and make it work.
Just the sheer size of this area, this is incredible looking.
We work with small family farms, so they have very kind of tight quality checks. They don't have a lot of waste.
You have a package of chicken feet. I mean, You barely can ever find these. From a chef's point of view, this makes the best chicken stock you could ever have. But at the same time, you know that this whole animal was processed, and that's what's so incredible here. I mean, you could never have this kind of freshness and this kind of quality, just the look of everything here, how tight the skin is, how beautiful the marbling is on this.
Our meat and seafood manager, he's been doing this for years, and he goes out to the farms that we source from. Within a few minutes, he's actually out there herding cattle sometimes and looking at the product, looking at the facilities. By the end, we know everyone by name.
Something that jumped out at me, you've grown to change with your community. And I know that there's now a fairly significant East African community in this area, and you see it in the prepared foods. You know, you see these traditional dishes of that area, which is really awesome. I mean, you don't see that in a lot of stores where the store takes into account the people who are shopping in it and begins to produce for them.
Well, I think that's what differentiates cooperatives from conventional businesses, is that our members are our owners, and really the cooperatives grow up from the membership, as opposed to a lot of places where they just kind of scout out a neighborhood and go in and build a store. So really we try to have our product selection reflect the people who live in Seward neighborhood.
It's actually a place to connect.
It becomes almost a community center as much as it is.
It is, very much so. Our community is not just a geographic community, it's a community of shared values.
Seward's support of their neighborhood reaches beyond the doors of the co-op. The membership awards grants to organizations serving their local community, like the Backyard Harvest Project run by Krista Laris.
This garden was actually funded entirely by Seward Co-op's Community Fund. It feeds people who are part of the Aliveness Project, which is an organization that serves daily meals to folks with HIV and AIDS, and they're very focused on nutrition, and so getting fresh organic produce is really important to them.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive just to see the sheer amount that can be done in fairly enclosed space.
Right, yeah, this is about 80 square feet of growing space, give or take, and 37 different crops in there. I mean, you can grow a lot.
Now, are there more of these around town?
We actually have 3 more gardens like this around town, and they're all in donated spaces. So sometimes they're in people's yards and sometimes they're in commercial spaces.
We're conveying to the consumer, you know, this is people like ourselves, small producers, cooperative producers, and local, all tied together. And it's really about the values of that community.
And that's really what it all comes down to, is it's the interaction in the community around
people
food.
and food. That's the, I mean, short and sweet, but that's exactly what it is. It's people shop at Seward because they want to be a part of this. You make everyone who comes in the door of your place feel like they're a part of something bigger.